Hi, welcome to Child at Hearts. Happy 2023. I'm excited and delighted to have you back on this channel. I also want to use the opportunity to appreciate every single one of you that have stayed put on this page. We want to say thank you. We do not take it for granted. We also want to apologize for having taken a long break without bringing you content via video. We are back and we're here now. In this video, we'll be talking about 4 major categories of special needs. This month of January is actually dedicated to special needs children. Every child is important. And as you can see in our timeline on Instagram, we have actually been putting out content on special needs children. Welcome back. I'm your one and only Gift Onyi Okorongo, and I'm still excited to be here for you on this page, Child at Hearts. In this video, we'll be talking about 4 major categories of disabilities we encounter in children as early childhood practitioners, as child carers, as parents, as teachers, and as a school. All the disabilities you see children encounter as you work with them, they are all categorized into 4 major types. That is what we'll be looking at in this video. So, as a teacher, as a child carer, as a school, you have kids that have different delays, different disabilities, and you're trying to find out how do you help these children. Before you help the child, before you find solution to what the child is experiencing, you need to know what exactly is the child experiencing. The signs that the child is presenting, what is it? What does it link to? What is it pointing to? That is one of the reasons why we are doing this video. As a teacher, as a child carer, and as someone that has worked with children for so many years, I've seen teachers, I've seen child carers, I've seen schools struggle with such children that they admit into their school because they do not know how to help the children. They lack the methodology, they are not able to tweak their ways of teaching the child or handling the child, and they get frustrated. Sometimes they term the child some names that are not proper. That is why as a teacher, as a child carer, as a parent, and as a school, you need to know the basics, the basic signs and symptoms of such disabilities, so that the ones you can help the child walk through with it and overcome the delay, you do it. The ones that are severe, that you need the help of a professional, then you can contact your supervisor, contact the head of school, and they can bring in the help of a supervisor or the help of a professional. Now, why are we talking about these delays? Most of the delays we encounter in children are delays such as epilepsy, such as dyslexia, such as autism, and we know autism has different spectrums, such as bipolar. Some of them are experiencing inability to hear, limited hearing or deafness. Some of them have visual impairments. How do you help these children? Some of them are experiencing ADHD. Some of them are experiencing different forms of disabilities. Now, all these disabilities we have categorized or have been categorized into 4 major types. Why? Because you need to understand what are the root causes. What kind of disability is this child encountering? As a teacher, as a child carer, you need to know the basics. These are not the times where you tell a child anything you like or anything you feel, or you just do a guesswork and say this is what this child is experiencing. No. The 4 major categories of disabilities we encounter in children are 1, physical, 2, developmental, 3, behavioral or emotional, and 4, sensory disorders. Now, the physical disability, remember I talked about all the disabilities, most of them that we experience or we see children experience are categorized into these 4 major groups, which is the physical, the developmental, behavioral or emotional, or the sensory impaired disability. I'll be talking now about the physical. Physical disabilities that you see children encounter, they show signs of not being able to move properly. They're not able to climb the stairs as others are climbing. You see they do not have good motor skills. Either they don't have good large motor skills or they do not have good fine motor skills. These disabilities, example, are muscular dystrophy, example are cerebral palsy, example are epilepsy. Most cases where you see that children are encountering severe challenges, you need the help of a professional. You need the help of a teacher or someone that is trained in that field. Then as a teacher, you need to understand the basics so that you can say this is either physical, this is the kind of help this child needs. We usually advise parents, teachers, child carers to look out for these signs, these symptoms in children so that they can be detected early. Early intervention helps teachers, helps child carers, help professionals to be able to work with children, to know what it is, work with children to be able to overcome these delays. We have seen children that experience or are encountering such disabilities overcome them and start living their normal lives and become better, sometimes better than their counterparts, because they were able to detect the delays, they were able to detect these disabilities in time, and there was early intervention. The second category of disability we'll be talking about is the developmental. Developmental disabilities show signs or they present signs that have a lot to do with the mental and physical impairments. Such disabilities are autism, such disabilities are Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome. The child is not able to comprehend some things. The child is not able to do some things for themselves. Now, before you term a child a special needs child, I'd like to say that you as a teacher would have been able to try to work with a child from your own professional skills and knowledge of what special needs presents, and then you see that you're not making headway, then you can contact your supervisor, raise alarm, or talk to your school head. They can employ the help of a professional to come and assess the child to be able to see what is the child going through, what can we do to help the child. Sometimes these professionals come after assessing the children. I have experienced where after assessing the children, you discover they do not even need a special needs teacher. They just need to put the teacher through to know what to do with this child. And we have seen several occasions where some children were assessed, and then this professional was able to come up with a timetable, was able to come up with a method of handling and teaching the child. And the teacher worked with this child. Most times you need to work with them one-on-one to see that this child is able to overcome some of these delays. So the third category of disability we'll be talking about today is the behavioral or emotional. Behavioral emotional disabilities present symptoms and signs such as inattentiveness, hyperactivity. These children are not able to maintain interpersonal relationships. They're not able to learn. They're not able to sit at a place. They're impulsive. They distract themselves, distract every other person. That's where you see children that climb the table, children that make sound, children that jump, and they distract everyone. Example of such disability is ADHD. Another example is bipolar. So as a teacher, you would be able to find different resources that you can use to keep these children busy. Most times, these disabilities are seen in early years children, and I mean early years from the age of 0 to 5 years, within that age bracket. Some children too that have crossed the age band are still experiencing such delays because there was no early intervention. The fourth category of disability is a sensory impaired disability. Majorly, this disability has to do with limited hearing or deafness, visual impairments. Children that experience such disability most times are not able to see clearly. They will need to sit in front of the class. Most times, those that experience deafness or limited hearing might need you to repeat what you said to them again and again and again. So, understanding all of these disabilities that children encounter while working with them, you need some ounce of patience. When you know that these disabilities are most times common with children in early years, some adults to experience it because they were not able to have early intervention while they were young, you need to express some level of patience, support, love, and see how to help these children. Peradventure, you are a home tutor, and the child that you're taking in their house is experiencing some of these signs and symptoms. Now you need to know what to do or what the signs present or what exactly the child is experiencing. You make research, you find out what can I do to help this child. You might need to raise alarm in severe cases so that their parents will find a professional that can work with the child alongside your help to see that this child overcomes these delays early. I'd like to add that as much as all of these delays, I'm talking about dyslexia, autism, ADHD, cerebral palsy, sensory impaired disabilities, find themselves in all of these categories. Some of them too can find themselves in 2 or more categories. What I mean is that dyslexia can either be a sensory impaired disability and can also be a developmental disability. So a list of these disabilities that we'll see children encounter or we'll see them experience as we interact with them, as we teach them, as we work with them, are disabilities like autism, dyslexia, ADHD, bipolar, deafness or limited hearing, visual impairments. Some extreme and severe cases, you have cerebral palsy. Sometimes you see Fragile X syndrome. Sometimes you see Down syndrome. Sometimes you see children that suffer from muscular dystrophy. Now, all these disabilities, even the ones that I haven't mentioned, are categorized into these 4 major types. Like I said, they are either physical disability, they are either developmental disability, they are either behavioral or emotional disability, or they are either sensory disorder. I like to encourage you as a teacher because the work we are doing is not easy. As a child carer, as a parent, or as a school that is experiencing or you've seen children in your care that are experiencing some of these disabilities, I'll enjoin you to be patient with them, to show them support, to show them all the love that they need, and as much as possible, research and find ways that you can help them. In the next video, we'll be talking about different disabilities and what you can do as a teacher to help them. You might not be a professional. You do not have to be a professional in any of these disabilities. You just need to know the basics and what to do to help these children. And in severe cases, who to call and how to help them. We can also help you link you up to a special needs teacher, a special needs practitioner, a special needs organization that we've worked with for so many years and we've seen success as they work with children with special needs. Most children that have experienced early intervention, because some of these delays we are seeing early, they were detected early, they have actually overcome these delays and they are becoming better. Some of them have become better than their counterparts, and some of them have overcome these delays. I want to encourage you and I want to say thank you for working with children with disabilities, and God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. I want to appreciate every one of you and every teacher around the world for helping special needs children. If you are a parent and you have seen some of these signs and symptoms, or probably you have a child that is a special needs child, I want to encourage you that as you are consistent in loving and supporting your child, you will see the child overcome these delays. I believe so much in prayer, and I know that prayer works for special needs children. However, as you're putting in prayer, as you're praying for your child and expecting that the child overcomes these delays, is also important that you put in the work, you get the knowledge and know what to do to see that this child overcomes this challenge fast. Every child deserves the best. Every child deserves the love. So as a teacher, I also want to encourage you that in your class, in your school, do not turn a blind eye to children that are experiencing delays or experiencing some kind of disability. Find out what you can do to help them. Relax and see yourself as an early intervener, someone that can help them out of this special needs, because that is actually what they need. They don't need people despising them. Work with their colleagues, work with their peers in their class to see that they are also considerate in interacting with them, because most times we see that children that are classmates or counterparts or friends to most of these special needs children do not also help us work with them. So as a teacher, it is your job to take charge and see that there is love, there is support, both from their peers, both from you as a teacher, both from the surrounding, as you work to support these children overcome their delays. Thank you very much as you do this.